Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Empire Wars. In the yellow, we have WWP Tim, the White Wolf Palace team, playing as the Berbers. His ally DDL in the red, playing as Tatars. His other ally at the very bottom right, Ting Tianlong. No! Guys, you're actually lagging me by making the shoutout clip. You're actually lagging me by playing the shoutout clip. Okay, so please relax on the shoutout clip, thank you. You're actually lagging me with the shoutout clip. Hang on, just let me close some of my apps in the background first. Let me close some of my apps in the background. I keep forgetting whenever I play when I do stuff on OBS, right? Yeah, I need to close some of my other apps behind. Guys, we stop with the stuff already. Oh, by the way, good to see you, Dark. You can tell that Dark is also in this game. So let's give a quick shout out to Dark as I close some of my background apps. So that I can make the game run. So guys, remember there are currently only free AoE Singaporean streamers. So go and follow Mr. Dark Diamonds right there. I had fun in his stream this morning. I was watching him play his tourney games. So let's continue with the cast. So actually my webcam is kind of blocking the score here. Let me just quickly change that. Yes, so we have purple, Mr. Ting Tianlong, Mr. Boss Dragon in the purple as the Tatars, sorry, the Lithuanians. And here we have teal, NNL_noob. This is Jamin playing as the Magyars. We have Dark Diamonds in the green playing as the Persians. And we have me, NNL_gamerisdc, playing as the Vikings. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mountain Range. Now, if you don't know what Mountain Range is, it is a Empire Wars map. You start in a very Lombardia-esque style across the map. In the middle, there's a whole bunch of wild animals, some relics. So right here, you can see a relic. So there are a total of 5 relics in the middle of the map. And each person starts in a very... each team starts in a very awkward corner of the map. They have access to quite a few gold piles. And because this is Empire Wars, you also get a lot of potential strategies for this because you start in feudal. Now, it is very important to note that WWP Tim is currently one of the top 50 in the world, and he's playing some team games here, some Empire Wars team games with his buddies. But it's also very interesting to note that how early these guys have started their wars. You can see the Palisade walls have begun. So this map, right, is played very, very similarly to Lombardia. You can see they've already sent 2 or 3 villagers out to the front, stonewalling their side really mad. And looks like Jamin is going to send forward his scouts now. His scouts are Magyar scouts, so they're going to have a slight advantage over the Berber scouts, which have no forging. But we have all of these players taking double bit X and horse collar. Only me and Jamin not taking any double bit or horse collar, because we are quite focused on trying to go up. Actually, no, I did take double bit. So it seems like the only person who didn't take double bit is Dark Diamonds. And yellow trying to find his way in. He doesn't really find anything, but what he does find is that Jamin is in his base and he just managed to kill one of the vills. So that's actually not looking really good for Tim right now. He's actually forced to retreat, and he's already quick walling the wood line. Very, very nice quick walls. Unfortunately, there's a hole here, so poor Tim is gonna probably lose maybe one of the vills. I'm not too sure. There is a potential of trying to find damage here, but there's a couple of archers from me running out to try and see if we can pick them off. But Jamin is going to be inside the base, causing lots of damage. And in fact, Jamin is actually going to start smacking the vill. Smack the vill so hard, but unfortunately the reinforcements are home. Tim does manage to get a very nice surround, a very beautiful surround. No, but he managed to clip out. There's also a spear here mixed into the army. So actually Red doing a very good job of blocking in Jamin scouts, and he might lose the vill. Oh no, he didn't lose the vill. So not bad. Jamin did cause quite a bit of chaos. Currently the vill counts are 38, 37, 38 to 39, 40, 42. No one has clicked up to Castle Age yet because nobody has the resources. Dark is floating a lot of wood. I'm not. Jamin was quite busy with the aggression, so you can see he's floating quite a bit of rest. Red is also floating quite a bit. So the only people close to clicking up are me, Tim, and DDL. And remember guys, remember that this map is played very closely to Lombardia. So an economic start is usually expected. So we do have Jamin clicked up first. He's gonna start getting double bit X. You get back to work. See you later, Riz. No problem, Paradox. See you later. Kratos, welcome to the stream, Mr. Jeff. And hello, Flowering Dancer. It is good to see you. So the NNL side is walled. And you can see that blue, Mr. Me, I'm sending out my archers and I'm running around the other side of the base. I'm trying to look for any potential openings in the walls. Unfortunately, I will not find any openings, but everybody's going to click up with the slight exception of me and Dark, because Dark went for some scouts. I don't know whether, yeah, he did go for a couple of scouts. And me, of course, I'm Vikings. So I have 3 wheelbarrows, so I decided to extend my feudal by a little bit, just so I can make a few archers and see whether I can go for an opening. But unfortunately, they patched it up after Jamin's aggression. You can see quite a few upgrades being taken by Tim, quite a few eco and military upgrades. Obviously, he wants to get a little bit of bloodlines, a little bit of flashing also from red. So we can see the potential for cavalry-based armies and archer-based armies. Of course, Jamin is going to click up first. Yellow's going to prowl around. Don't forget that the scouts from Tim are still very, very much alive. They have forging at the moment. So Jamin is going to start walling up. Meanwhile, the archer mass is growing from me. You have 21 archers right now, and both me and Dark have clicked up to Castle Age. Going to be slightly behind the other people in the team. But we have a very crazy plan up our sleeves. So everyone knows that Tim is one of the best players in the world. And so Dark and I decided that we shouldn't take any chances against such a high rated player. So you're gonna see quite an interesting transition. Everybody's clicking up. You can see Botkin is being taken by the Lithuanian, sorry, the Tatar player, and he's gonna start making cavalry archers, which is a very good choice for DDL because Tatars get free thumb ring. They also have very nice bonus in Imperial Age where they get free Parthian tactics, which make them a very, very strong unit choice in a very open map like this. Tim is just gonna have fun with the spear. Tim is still being very aggressive with the scouts. He still wants to find an opening, not really finding it. A couple of horse collars, a couple of heavy plows, and a couple of wheelbarrows are going up. Yeah, everybody's trying to get their eco up, but if you look carefully, I have researched crossbow. And if you look at my rest very carefully, I am spending my food quite specifically. So if you don't understand what I'm going for, this is actually a fast imp with aggression. The problem is I had to go crossbows first because you will never know if your opponent is going to go forward. And since I made so many archers already, making crossbow is probably a very, very good choice. You can see that the archer production has stopped. But university is going up. I can't tell where's the other passage building because I cannot remember where I put it. But yeah, I'm going for a fast in build. And you can see that Dark Diamonds has sent 10 villagers to stone. He is going to castle drop forward very soon. All the Chinese players have put some villagers on stone and they are starting up the boom. Team is already up to 3 TC, so is Purple. Red has already built his 2 TC. Jamin is already on 3 TC, but he does have the team scouts have actually managed to break in over here. You can see this range of madness over here. So Tim is just going to run around the inside of the NNL base trying to look for some economic damage, but unfortunately he will not be able to get a hell lot because whoopsie daisy, it looks like Mr. Jamin is on 3 TCs and most of his eco is near the TC, so he'll be able to keep his villagers well protected. Looks like Mr. Tim is going for some camels. And very shortly, you're going to see Dark actually started making some camels. He's going to sell some of his resources because he needs the resources to go up. He just passed by the tin camels. You can see that Jamin is focusing on eco. He's got his 3 TC, he's got his horse collar, he's got his wheelbarrow. He's going to start getting that economic up because he's going to need it. But unfortunately, Dark is going to lose a few of his villagers. And he's going to get a university up, monastery up. He's going to think of clicking up as well. He's trying to safeguard his eco by sending the camel over. But yeah, the purple army is building up. You can see a huge amount of cavalry with +2. They're looking quite deadly. Bloodlines on the way as well. However, there is a huge army of crossbows right outside the base. Unfortunately, Dark is going to lose a few more villagers, but he does have enough stone to drop a castle. And Gamer has 609 food, 1000 gold. He is almost up to him. He just needs to do a little bit of market abuse and wait for it. There we go. We have the Imperial Age click up from gamerisdc. And unfortunately, the Team Scouts are going to wander into the eco of gamerisdc, but they're not going to find any damage just yet. But you can see that the eco is currently being prepared for a massive archer spam. On the front, you'll see that Dark Diamonds has his castle forward as well. And it is time to move out the crossbows, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to move out the crossbows. This is a huge army of knights, but we have yet to see any husbandry, no attack upgrades as well. And with such a huge mass of crossbows by Gamer, it's going to be very, very hard to be pushing against them. So this army of cavalry is going to be quite wasted. Looks like the boss dragon was going to start retreating his army, but Mr. DDL, he is forward and he does have a couple of cavalry archers and he's going to be ready to put on the aggression. The monastery and the castle here is actually more than enough to click up. So you can see both me and Dark Diamonds have clicked up. Dark Diamonds is going to be slightly behind than me because, sorry, that's not Dark, that's Jamming. So Jamming is going to be a little later up because I focused my eco entirely on trying to click up as soon as I can. You also see crossbow in for Mr. Magia, Mr. Noob, and he's starting to build his army as well. Dark has also sent out a few monks. I cannot see where the monks are. Yeah, so the monks are on their way out. They're going to come and collect some of the relics that are available. And you can see a huge army of crossbow, which are going to become Arbalists very soon with Bracer. And you can see right now the time is about 18 minutes. So this is actually a very early Imperial time for Empire Wars, and looks like Tim is going to start preparing his own aggression. I'm up, Mr. gamerisdc, and yes, we are going to start hammering on this on the front of the base with all these crossbows. You can see that I do not have the eco to get Bracer just yet because this is a very, very sensitive build. And you don't really have a lot of resources, but with free hand cut, the resources are going to come in very slowly. Bracer in first because, like I said before on my streams, Bracer is actually more important than Arbalist, especially because Arbalist doesn't give you as much as Bracer. But the army from purple is still very much alive, and they still have +2, so I have to be very careful with managing this army. Tim's army is forward, and he is going up to Imperial Age. He is making his upgrades. All the Chinese players have clicked up, and they are ready for their Imperial Age plan. Like I said, most of our NNL team right now is currently in Imperial Age, going to be in Imperial Age before our opponents, and we are starting to build up some army. Mr. Magia Jamin has his crossbows at the ready. Mr. Dark Diamonds has his castle, has his siege workshop ready. He is absolutely prepared for shenanigans at its best. Arbalist is on its way, Ballistics on its way. Yeah, this is a team that is ready to kill the Chinese team. Unfortunately, Jamin hasn't scouted the map, so he does not know the presence of all these castles and all these forward military that are going to be in front, and they're going to be very, very ready for so much aggression. So Tim is going to buy some of the stone because he needs the resources to click up. Unfortunately, Yellow is going to get his castle up. Jamin spots the castle and he's going to retreat on the double, and he's going to retreat as fast as he can because now you can see camel archers are coming up, the upgrades are coming up, ballistics, Bot King, and the armors. Tim going for a double blacksmith as it looks like, but you can see that I am already almost fully upgraded with my arbalist with my last armor and chemistry. So this is going to be a very, very deadly fight soon. But the purple knights do get spotted, and unfortunately they do not have +3 just yet. So they are gonna get quite a few pick-offs of the knights over here, just barely managing to scrape the surface. And this is a very large number of arbalists. There's 85 arbalists on the field right now, and traps are coming in. Mr. Dark Diamonds is ready for the forward push. My arbalist and his traps and camels, and we are going to start pushing dead hard on Mr. Purple with his 4 TC, 2 castle opening. Unfortunately, like I said, Mr. Purple, Mr. Boss Dragon, he does not have his upgrades yet. He does not have Cavalier. He does not have +3 armor. Braces being researched by both the Tartars and the Berbers player. You can see that Tim's unit of choice here is going to be Camel Archers. His resources, by the way, look really very nice, and he's managed to get almost all the economy upgrades. The only economy upgrade that he's probably missing right now is Handcart, but is on the way, as well as crop rotation. But like I said, crop rotation is not a very, very important upgrade. And looks like I am going to find a little bit of engagement. Don't forget that these are Parthian tactics. But these are Parthian tactic cavalry archers, Mr. Tatars. Unfortunately, it seems that Mr. Tatar haven't gotten his silk armor yet. Because you can see his armor right now is 3-4. With silk armor, he will actually have a little bit more. He will actually have 4-6, I believe. So yeah, this is actually not looking good for Mr. Tatar player. And he's going to be forced to retreat the cavalry archers a little bit back. The Cavalier are ready, but +3 is on its way. It's almost done. You can see Elite Camel Archer coming in for Mr. Tim. And I'm forced to engage with one of the armies while the other army is pushing forward. You can see the camels and the arcs are going to push forward. The traps from Dark Diamonds are going to start taking down the production, going to start taking down the TCs. And don't forget that this is a lot of army from both me and Dark. And I already spot the Camel Archers from Tim, and I already alerted the team. Hey, we have Camel Archers on the way. But the surround, Mr. Purple, Mr. Boss Dragon, he's going to come and try and surround. He's trying to try and delay the push as long as he can. The Arc Mass is trying its best to take down the Cavaliers, but the Trebuchets are taking so much damage from all the attacks of the Cavaliers. But fortunately, we managed to save the Trebuchets, and there were some nice engagements, there were some nice surrounds, but Purple not aiming the Trebuchet. Not aiming the Arbalist over the Trebuchet. He's going to lose nearly all his Cavalier. You can see he's down to 19 military, which is not enough to be able to stop this. The Cavalry Archers from Red are also not going to be enough. They are really busy over here. They're trying to deal with the Arbalist mess from me, and there's still so many Arbalists coming out on the field. You can see a huge line of blue coming from my base. If you don't know, I actually have 5 Rangers, and so does Jamming. You can see right now he has 5 Rangers and lots of Arbalists. He is ready to exert the pressure with me. We're gonna push this town harder than I was forced out of my mom's belly during pregnancy. But that is not important. What is important is the amount of aggression that's being piled on here. All the trebuchets are doing their hardest to try and cripple the economy. So far, the only person with below average field count is Red and Blue, but that's only because Red is on 2 TC and I'm also on 2 TC. So both of us are kind of in a lot of shite at the moment. But yeah, Red actually used a lot of his eco to try and get heavy cavalry archers, but a lot of his heavy cavalry archers are already got they did already get swarmed over during the earlier trade against the Arbalist. And yeah, looks like the purple does have a handful of Cavalier over here. They are trying to go for the surround, and unfortunately my micro wasn't really on the pace, so I'm actually going to take a lot of damage from the Cavalier over here. And with the CA coming from behind, it looks like the engagement is going to favor the Chinese team. But if you look carefully, the Persian heavy camels are fully upgraded. Okay, wait, actually they're not fully upgraded, but they do have more upgrades than the purple army at the moment, and with that upgrade advantage, they are going to be able to take out most of the Cavalier from purple. And unfortunately, Red does not have enough army here as well. The Arbalist numbers are just too much for Red. And Dark Diamonds is going to hammer in. He's going to go in with his camels. All this eco from purple is about to get taken down just because there isn't enough army to stop them. So if you want to ask, where's Tim? Well, Tim's army is over here. He's trying to use the camel archers to try and whittle down the Arbalist, but don't forget that Berbers do not have the last armor for their archers. You can see, oh no, they do have the last armor, but they do not have Parthian tactics. So they do not have as much armor as they could have, especially against Arbalist. You really want Parthian tactics against Arbalist. The extra pierce armor is going to be very, very important, especially when facing a huge arc focused army that both the Magyars and the Vikings are currently putting out. There's only arc coming out from the Viking player right now, so this is actually looking like a very, very nice trade-off. Tim is actually forced to retreat his army, and he's going to start focus on pressuring the Magyar player. And don't forget that these Hussar are fully upgraded, but there's just not enough mass right here to deal with them. And Gemini is starting to try and push, but Tim is starting to get up his production buildings. You can see that his stables and his castles are producing like crazy right now. He's gonna try and match up against the Magyar army right here. Wow, the Persians, me, and Dark are the Persians and the Vikings. Dark and I are trying our best to push up against the base. We're trying to do as much damage as possible. There's so many Cavalier coming out from purple, but unfortunately these are Persian heavy camos. Fully upgraded Persian heavy camos are definitely going to be enough against the boss dragon Lithuanian Cavalier. Hello Korea, it's good to see you my friend. How are you doing? I'm currently casting 20xxtg. I'm currently casting a game that I played earlier in the day. Their blue player is me, and I'm playing with my buddies Dark Diamonds and NNL Noob. And we're playing against a Chinese team, including White Wolf Palace team, who is one of the top 50 in the world. It's really quite crazy that we actually managed to hit Tim on the ladder. Yeah, this is a real game. This is the actual team. I actually tweeted a photo of this match and the authenticity of Tim. That is the actual team. This is not a fake account. This is the real team. And you can see from the army control right here that this is definitely the real team. Tim is pushing dead hard into the Magyar player, and there's just not enough army here for the Magyars. There's so many Camel Archers, so many Hussars, and the traps are going to start threatening this position. And Tim is trying very hard to push while his ally is getting really hard hit. All the Cavalry Archers here are not going to be enough, and there's still so many Arbalists from me, gamerisdc, the Vikings, and the Trebuchet are still going ham. Look at all the production. Just moments ago, this place was full of purple eco. Now all the purple stuff is dead. Look, purple is down to less than 100 pop, and so is red. So both of them are actually in a really bad shape and not being able to produce anything. Look, you can see that Dark Diamonds has actually managed to invade Tim's eco, and it's starting to hurt the trade where it hurts the most, which is at the back. You know, hurt it from the back. Ching ching, ching ching. But yeah, you can see that Honor Girl and Elite Skirm upgrade is coming in for Red. He's trying his best to be able to hold out against the armies, but there's just so much damage done already. The forward traps are very much still alive, and all the forward castles are going to be more than enough. Well, there was a forward castle here earlier, but it got taken down by Red. And the army is still doing a lot of damage. So many arcs are still out on the field. There's 54 over here, there's 26 somewhere behind, and we're just doing so much damage here, and the trade can't really. You can see that there was once trade over here, and now there's nothing. There's nothing at all. One of my friends went Mr. Yo, and he went all in organ gun. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, Mr. Yo is actually a very aggressive player. It's not easy to be able to play against Mr. Yo, but you can see the Camel Archer mess from Tim is actually so incredible right now. There's 43 Camel Archers, and the Hussar is trying their best to be able to put out, and the Tim is trying his hardest to be able to push back against the Magyar player. You can see that the Trebuchet has actually managed to take down so much of the production of Jamin, but the problem is his base is still being very much hit. The Persian camels from Dark is just killing all the trade, and the armies can't really do anything at the moment. You can see that all my arms are still very much alive, and I'm still putting on a lot of pressure. So at this point, right, Jamin was requesting very heavily for help. So you can see that Dark has sent a few of his camels to send to help Jamin out in these shenanigans. You can also see that there's some pikemen coming out on the field from me to try and help Jamin as well. But we are also very focused here in trying to take down as much of the eco as possible and do as much damage as we can. Purple is almost completely out of the game, and so is Red. There's almost nothing they can do about this heavy camel and arbalist trap push that we have going on here at the bottom. And we are eating the bottom half of the Chinese team map. And Tim is still pushing into the teal map. There's just such a big mess of Camel Archers over here, and there's just not enough meat for the Magyar army to be able to deal with all this. And the trap war is still going to go on. You can see that Mr. Dark is going to start raiding the red base. Not really doing the best job, but he's trying his best. He's sending his army everywhere, as is the Pocket's job. And you can see that so much of the army from me and Dark are still very much alive. We are eating the bottom half of the map. Oh yeah, this was me warning about the Honor Girl, because I spotted the Honor Girl and then she killed a couple of my arbalists. But don't forget that so much pressure is already done, and we are killing almost everything. Like you can see that like the right half of the map is literally non-existent already. The push just did so much damage with all the arcs, all the camels, all the traps, and because of this, Tim is forced to retreat his entire army back, and the forward position is going to be compromised. And you can see that Jamin is going to stabilize very shortly thanks to this move. You can see this gigantic army from Tim, 49 camel archers and 21 hussars running all the way back to be able to kill all this. And my god, this is so crazy. This is really so crazy. Yeah, the Amazon Archer model is replacing the Arbalist. So you can see at this point, right, we have me and Dark has already noticed the huge shift in the army from Tim. And Tim is sending all his army here. There's just so much army here from Tim that is actually going to be impossible. I'm actually going to have a hard time being able to keep this army alive. Tim is actually going to eliminate so many of the Arbalists, so many of the camels, thanks to this shift in momentum. And don't forget that camel archers are very good against camels. So all this army from me and Dark are about to get cleaned up very shortly. Tim is like, nope, you are not allowed to kill my friend. You can see that the score is very heavily favored on the NNL side right now. And unfortunately, Tim's huge army has managed to clear up most of our army. But Dark has managed to tag into Hussar, and he's going forward. He's trying to do as much damage as he can. The trade has already been set up. The trade route is on its way to flourishing. And there goes the last army. There goes the last few ups from the push. So yeah, Dark is still sending a couple of Hussar and camels into the mix, but so much of the army has already been eliminated. But there's just barely enough resources from the both of us to be able to reproduce. You can see that the Arbalist count is starting to go up again. If you don't know how many rangers there are currently 5 rangers, 5 barracks, 12 stables from Dark. And like I said, it's very hard to play this game because our team just hit the red and the purple side so hard. But Tim's army is going to come up here. He's going to be able to try his best to clean up all the shenanigans over here. Don't forget that there's a huge mess of camel archers. 40 camel archers. And Tim is actually doing a pretty decent job here, clearing up the Hussar and trying to deny Dark of more pressure. You can see that there's a lot of castles fought by Tim. There's actually 6 castles, including, if you include the ones that got destroyed, right, there's actually 8 castles. And Dark is just doing Dark things. He's just gonna start smacking the castle with his Hussar, just doing so much damage. And unfortunately, the forward castle by by Dark is going to get denied by the huge mass of camel archers. And Tim is just like, no, we need to reset the trade. Once we reset the trade and we get trade going again, everybody boom back up, we can do much. But unfortunately, like I said, look at Red. Red is on 1 TC with 36 vills, and so many of Dark's Hussar are still running amok in the base and just killing all the villagers. Just not any eco just going out. It's just forced to idle all the eco thanks to Dark's very heavy aggressive cavalry play, just killing all the villagers like his name was Dark Diamonds. And unfortunately, can you see right here, it looks like Tim's army is going to be stopped by the Arbalist. Hussar are going to stop and delay the push, but the Arbalist numbers are building up, and Tim is losing the castles that he needs to replenish his army. There are a couple of onagers out, intent on stopping the Arbalist, but you can see that my pikemen are on the job, and they're going to run towards the onager and try and clear the onager for our dear friend Jamin. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a couple of his skirms over here, but the pikemen are here on the rescue, and they're going to try their best to eliminate the onager from the red player. And like I said, there's just so much aggression going on. Over here, they are trying their best to try and replenish the trade. But yes, there's just so much army from me and Dark just keeping them on their toes. The camel archers are forced to stay here. And even though there's a lot of resources from Tim, there's just not enough to replenish the ones that he just lost. He needs to lay down more trade cards. He needs to keep sending his army forward. And look, more aggression from Dark Diamonds, just idling the hell out of Tim, just killing every single villager that Dark Diamonds can set his eyes on. And even though Yellow is currently in the base, of Dark Diamonds. He's trying to kill the eco. He's trying to trade villager for villager. For every villager that Dark Diamonds kills, I want to kill some of the villagers as well. But you can see that the trade route is starting to get reinforced. Castles are going up. Pikemen are being sent to the back and trying their best to protect the eco against the very heavy aggressive Hussar play. And like I said, the Arbalist numbers are coming back. Where the Arbalist right now? You can see there's currently 53 Arbalists, and they're prepped and ready to be able to fight the camel archers. Look, there's still so many camel archers here, but since the Arbalists are in bigger number, once they do the engagement correctly, they are going to be decent against the camel archers. And look, so many Hussar are still on the field. Marga player and Persian player just trying their best to restore their eco. Though there's so many raids going on, you can tell who is the bigger victor. pikemen being thrown in the mix is going to help kill the raids that are going on in the base. And there is no pikemen, no way of really getting rid of the hussar raids right now. The only thing that can really keep the hussars out are the camel archers, but the camel archers are kind of forced to split up. The army is not together, and that is a very huge disadvantage. You can see even more hussar are being traded. Like at this point, Dark Diamonds doesn't care about how much food he loses as long as he keeps Tim's army occupied. And there's literally 56 military to 267 military. Okay, the red and the purple army is just so gone already. There's just not much left. And look, the camel archers are about to meet with the arbalists. And once that happens, once this camel archer army gets eliminated, there's just nothing that they're gonna have to be able to stop them. And unfortunately, Tim, I don't think Tim is paying attention, or Tim is choosing to make a bad fight. Because right now, Tim is actually losing almost all his camel archers to the arbalists. You can see them trying to pull the camel archers a little bit back in the range of the castle. Unfortunately, the castle doesn't range because Dark Diamonds did not get any of his archer upgrades. But the 40 camel archer strong mass has reduced to a significant 19, and this is not looking good for Tim. There's just no army, no vills from both of those players. This is actually one of the hardest games that I've ever played, because seriously, when you're playing this game, you would have no idea what's going on, except that everybody's going crazy. Red is currently down to 3 villagers. He cannot make anything. He's forced to take food from the sheep that spawns when you construct an additional TC. Okay, Red is actually so goddamn dead. And Purple is not too far behind in the dead counter. Like I said, so much of the hussars has managed to raid and kill just so much of Purple's eco. And while you see that most of the hussars from Dark Diamonds are gone, you can see the amount of eco damage they cause is truly irreparable. Only 174 vills and 29 military to 271 military to 300 villagers. And Dark is still, Dark is still actually hammering this castle since earlier. And Jamin, NNL Noob, has managed to restabilize. He has cleared all the castles. He's got rams. He's got hussar. And yeah, Jamin recovered very well from being attacked hardcore by Tim. It seemed like Jamin didn't even get attacked by Tim at all. Look, almost pop cap for all of these players. And now C-Tram are coming out to the play from the Viking player. Yeah, there's just nothing that this team can do at the moment against such a heavy and aggressive play. And I tell you guys, when I was playing this game, right, I had never been more focused, more determined to win this game than now. Because honestly speaking, this was one of the toughest games ever. You can see I even microed like several groups of armies across the map to try and see what damage I can do. And oh my god, what a crazy game. What a crazy game. The last of the military is falling. There's just not much that can replenish the army that's already been lost. Like Purple is trying to rebuild, but there's just not much left that Purple can rebuild from. There's no eco, no rest from any of these players. They have 5,000 wood from the Tatar player, but he cannot build any farms. All his villagers just get killed by Dark Diamonds Hussar. And look, more Hussar are coming. There's just so many Hussar out on the field, like spamming the Hussar everywhere and keeping all the vills down and idle and out of contact. It's just too much for them to handle. And we have the earliest botkin ever from Boss Dragon. You can tell that they're really struggling with all that they have left, because there's really not much left. One castle goes up from Tim, and this is the last army. This is the last army that Tim can really send. All of his forward production is all been killed by Jamin and Dark Diamonds, and there's even more army coming. Look at the amount of arbalists. So there's actually 2 strong groups, 78 arbalists from Magyars, 56 arbalists from Vikings. The military count is 264 to 56. The villager count is 331 to 149. At this point, there's really no coming back. And GG. What a crazy game. This was probably one of the best games I've ever played, but it was also one of the hardest games to play. Like when you're playing this game, it is actually so difficult because you are up against one of the best players in the world, and he still had so much stuff left. You can see that he actually had so much left. Regardless of how many villagers that Dark Diamonds killed, he actually managed to restore and replenish all the army and villagers killed. Unfortunately, his teammates were not as fortunate, because like I said, we pushed our side so hard that it was just so difficult for them to recover. Okay, the entire bottom half of the map is all gone from the Chinese team. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was one of the strongest. This was one of the highest level games I ever played. And I tell you, the screams I let out when we won this game was out of this world as well. Like, I was just so amazed that we managed to win this game, and win this game quite convincingly as well. It was such an adrenaline rush, because despite all this, right, our dear high elo player, right, is still at the top. Despite everything that happened to him and his allies, right, he still has so much. He actually killed 739 units. He had a positive KD despite all the shenanigans that happened. And not only that, it looked like his eco wasn't even hurt from all the damage that we did. Now, granted that he was furthest away from all the aggressive strategy, like me and Dark just pushed the bottom right so hard that they just found it really, it was just so difficult for the Tatars and the Lithuanians guy to recover. It was just so crazy. So yeah, this is teamwork at its best, guys. This is teamwork at its best. If you ever feel doubtful of your ability to play, just remember, AoE team games are team games. It is not how good one of the players are, but how good you are as a team. And my god, we were a team in this game. What a fucking game it was. It was incredible. This is also the fastest Imperial time I ever hit. 18-minute Imperial time in an Empire's Wars games. I tell you, Viking Eco, right, is just so goddamn scary. And I will not have won this game without my teammates Dark Diamonds and NNL Noob, otherwise known as Jamin. That was one of the craziest games we ever played.